we should move to our next presenter. And in fact, it was a good idea, you know, to change the order of presentation, because maybe the next two presentations will give hints on how to close the loop you've shown on your slide. The first one will be done by Aram Papoyan on one of the era-wide projects I mentioned this morning, which is basically a twinning activity between leading research organizations in EAP countries and several peers in Europe. So to try to, you know, to define common research agendas, to try to exploit cooperation opportunities, funding opportunities in the European program, but also elsewhere, and which are the basis, you know, of the cooperation in building trust between partners. And I think it's a very relevant scheme. So,
okay, and I first thank the organizers for the invitation to participate at this very interesting event. I want to share with you our experience in the frame of IPERA project, and also present our institute, which is, well, this is particular story, but you can generalize it, because many such institutions in Armenia, and we are very similar in this sense. So please, next slide. Don't worry, I will skip very quick, so not much things to show, but general idea is who we are, what is our institute, what is IPERA project, what is our experience, because the project comes to its end, and what it gave us, and what is our vision for the further collaboration. Next. So this is just research topics, our main research in the field of laser physics and material science. And these are our research labs, and we have revised this year the structure to accommodate it to new challenges. This is just a general overview, just to show that we are good organization with good publication record and well-developed international collaboration, and also some linkage to higher education. So what is IPERA project? This is just that the overall aim is to integrate our institute into European research area by developing collaboration capacities with leading European research and innovation organizations working in the field which relate to ICT and NMP work programs. And also another aim is to promote the Institute's expertise and capacity through strategic collaboration with three leading European organizations. And the structure is twinning activities, which is setting up joint experiments, joint studies, identification of partners, exchange of knowledge. Second is increasing visibility by dissemination and promotion. Third is implementation of training to build competency in thematic priorities which are proper for European interests, and also assessment and evaluation and development of strategy for our institute, which will make us more competitive and more, I would say, sustainable. Next, please. So this is the structure, the overview of IPERA and its impact. Left column is what we have at input, central column is action, third column is output, and as a result we should have increased competitiveness, visibility, and increased participation in European programs. So first I want to come to the question of collaboration from different aspects, from the ground level, I would say, because statements by stakeholders, it's very good, but this is very general, but there are some aspects which you can realize when you work on direct, immediate collaboration with your colleagues. So here are listed the forms of collaboration and the map, and you see that the most dense points are located in Europe. And this is the list of countries with whom we collaborate intensely. In blue, it's EU countries, and during the last years, we have over 130 joint papers in peer-reviewed journals. In particular, with Latvia, we collaborate with a team of Marcis Auziņš, Professor Auziņš, and we have over 10 joint papers. We collaborate since over 10 years. Okay, and we also organize international events and conferences in Armenia, which also helps to set up new collaboration. Please, next. Well, now I come to practical, pragmatic aspect of collaboration. Armenia is in different, in difficult and different, maybe from European institutions, financial situation. That is why being involved in international programs, it's our vital necessity. So you can see that during this period we had some additional funding from being involved in different programs, which exceeds 2 million euros. Next, please. And I want to make a short analysis of the situation. I just placed here 7 years, which is duration of FP7 project. So at the beginning, we had low involvement in FP7, and this is not only the case of our institute, but many Armenian institutions. Thierry Devars today shown that we were involved only in 45 FP7 projects. I will try to explain a little bit the situation. You see the yellow bars, it's ISTC. ISTC was very active in Armenia, and Armenia was very active in ISTC. So our institute had more than 10 projects, and each project was about 300,000 euros. And this was very easy to get funding from ISTC. It was practically no complication in filling application form and so on. But there was a gradual curtailment of the program, and then eventually it practically stopped at 2011. And now they tried just a few days ago, they want to give a new breath to this organization. I don't know what will happen. So pragmatic aspect here also obvious, because when you lose your capability, you try to get involved in something new, and so that was our particular experience, and we tried to do our best to get involved in European projects. And you see the red bars, it's FP7. Next, please. Again, pragmatic aspect of collaboration on the level of collaborating institutions. I think it's, let's be sincere and frank with each other. There are some aspects which are not said aloud by stakeholders. Immediately after the collapse of Soviet Union, half of our institute was working outside, because in Western countries there was a demand for good specialists, and they found niches and started to work in different institutes, and this became the beginning of more partner level collaboration. So here I try to list several points why we are attractive for European partners, because there should be interest behind general statements, particular interest, and maybe you agree, maybe not, but this is my vision. And next slide. So why we are interested in international collaboration. I fully agree with general statements, I mean, on the level of stakeholders, but there is also our pragmatic reality, because we need additional funding source, that's obvious, because we want to get involved in state-of-the-art studies. We want to have more sustainability, more, clear vision of our future. Please, next. So, and this is what we started from individual visits. I mean, this is the time starts, let's say, at the collapse of Soviet Union. As I mentioned, we had bilateral collaboration, not, settled by agreements, just spontaneous, and this continues. Then these triggered research grant programs. Then we started partner-level collaboration. In particular, we have at our institute first French-Armenian LIA, International Associated Lab of CNRS. And what we need, in fact, now we need institutional support programs, and we need R2I, research to industry format programs, because this aspect of our activity is a little bit, behind others. Please, next. So now, for collaboration options, now we come to justification why we need to be involved in European collaboration. Traditionally, we had strong links with Russia, but now these links doesn't work. In fact, nothing political behind this. Simply, there is no systematic tools and mechanisms of collaboration. Simply, this is the case. Bilateral contacts, of course, exist. So this doesn't give us sustainability. USA, we have been involved in many programs supported by CRDF, NSF, and other organizations. But now they also do not have this kind of framework instruments, and their interests are very particular and addressed. Asia, well, you see, there was no background collaboration and remoteness. And the advantages of European collaboration are listed here, which is, the main thing is that all the tools and instruments are really well developed, understandable, and for a long period. These are our problems. I have grouped in two groups. First, all the problems related with insufficient funding. They are interlinked, but the second aspect is weakness in strategy and sustainability mechanisms. Next slide. So, and now just I want to show how FP7 can help. You see these colored arrows, and each arrow corresponds to specific FP7 program which can help this to solve these questions. So now, if you noticed when speaking the overall aim of IPERA project, I was looking at the screen because there are some general words like building capacity and so on. But now I want to show, and I'm very happy that at the end, close to end, at the end of the project, we have some tangible results. And first result, well, I do not want to share the scientific part because it's not interesting maybe for most of us, most of you. But first is comprehensive assessment of the institute, which was needed really, it was needed to develop a strategy of our institute. And it was done in the frame of IPERA project and also by the help of other European programs like INCONET, ECA. and also for, with the help of Centrum for Social Innovations. Yes. And now, as a result of this SWOT analysis and recommendations by our external experts, we have built some infrastructure for our sustainable development, which is mission statement, development concept, and also strategic plan for coming 7 years. Next. So another is, as I mentioned, we were strong in fundamental science and in international collaboration, but we lost in innovation and market-oriented research. So that is why there was inventory and IP analysis done for our institute. It's a separate study and also supported by our IPERA partners. And as the follow-up action, we have already 2 R2I format pilot programs in Armenia in the frame of 2 other FP7 projects. We have created technology transfer office at our institute, and we have already developed the IP portfolio, and we try to do some case studies, marketing analysis, IP analysis, and we also have built links with Armenian high-tech SMEs. It's also important that IPERA and the new approaches, they helped us to solve the aging problem, which is one of the major issues for post-Soviet science. You see that the average age this year approaches to 60 years, and we have to rise the left peak, rise and broaden as much as possible, and I think we succeed to do that. So another tangible result is that IPERA is on the first line. Immediately in 2 years, we have already 6 FP7 projects at our institute. So because IPERA was just intended to build new links. And the last line is the project to H2020, which was submitted by our collaborating organization, by CERN, and it relates to new generation of hadron colliders and scintillating fibers. At the end, I want to, yes, and this collaboration in the frame of IPERA brought us a new possibilities, and we identified many possible partners, and all these partners will gather this year in September the IPERA conference Quantarm 2014, which is the combination of scientific conference, regular scientific conference on the IPERA topics, and a workshop which will combine brokerage events, summer school, training, and also IPERA final meeting. Next, please. So this is the place where will it take place. And the conference, just scientific part, it's a little bit old data. It was over 70 participants. You see that Europe is represented well, and also there was intention from US, Japanese, and other researchers to participate. And the workshop, we have agreement with Monnet that they will also participate, 2 experts from Monnet, and at least also for promoting further European collaboration. So Horizon 2020 is very perspective for us. This has more simple and unified rules, which is attractive. It offers new combination of different possibilities. And also it's very important for us unification of research methodology and instrumental hardware, and also mobility programs in the frame of Marie Skladovska-Curie actions. Here I have selected what is of our interest in the existing scheme. It's highlighted in red. And last thing, I just hope that association of Armenia to H2020 will happen, and well, this is not only my attitude, but I discussed with representatives of State Committee of Science and other authorities. They all hope that the decision eventually will be positive and we'll be able to sign this agreement. So this is just contact information, and yes, we have our promotion guide, which you can find in the internet. I didn't stop on research itself. If there are questions, I am ready to answer. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Of course.
Thank you. I just have a question in relation to the partnership, because what I understood that there's an Armenian institute that won the competition and got a project from the European Commission. So European Commission is financing the Armenian institute. That's correct. Do you understand it right? Or you are coordinating? So that, because we used to have a partnership, a leading institution and other partners in the project of the DG in research, and then I see that this is probably approach of the European Commission to countries, and from countries that could be one institute, right? That can participate in the competition. Is it true? I mean, could you please a little bit explain? Because it's not that what I have in my experience.
Yes, but this, I mean, the IPERA project comes from a very specific scheme, which is called ERA-wide. And for this type of project, it was mandatory for the institute selected in one of the EAP countries to coordinate the project, so that there was a kind of, capacity building exercise, to become a coordinator, and in a later stage, to be in a position to initiate, an FP proposal. So it was particular. It's not something, of course, we impose in traditional collaborative research activities. But here, these actions are funded in FP7 through the INCO program, which is, the program related to the promotion of international cooperation. And the ERA-wide was a call was focused on neighborhood countries, so not, it didn't target all countries of the planet. And the objective was really to have this twinning between one leading research organizations, for instance, in Armenia, with 3, 4, 5 peers in Europe. But the local, yes, no.
It works? Okay. This is officially our partner organization is CNRS, French National Research Center, but it's represented by several French universities, University of Bourgogne, Lyon University, and now we build also new links with we had very strong links with Paris Nord University. I think it's on. No? Okay. We also have in the consortium also some innovation company, which is Intelligentsia Consultants from Luxembourg, which helps us to build also the linkage with industry. But in the frame of other projects, FP7 projects that we have, 5 others, we have linkage practically with all European countries, starting from Greece, I mean, Spain, United Kingdom, practically all the countries are involved. I didn't show the list of partner organizations because one slide was not sufficient. Thank you.
So, yes, please, Professor Berlin.
In fact, I have an additional question related to what Professor Muravska said, because from what I understood, or at least I think I understood, that you really, that for the functioning of your own institute, in addition, you do receive, through various types of collaboration, you receive additional funding. Nowadays, if I also understand, and from many countries, funding is getting more and more restricted. It's much more difficult to get funding. So to what extent are you managing to through this type of collaboration, to ensure the adequacy of your funding from outside sources outside of Armenia? Because that is really, because for example, I know Canada, which had quite a bit of collaboration with a number of countries, through the new government of Harper, has reduced extensively the funding in relation to external relations in research. So so my question is, are you managing to maintain your outside of Armenia funding?
Well, this was a question, one of the key questions at the point when we started to develop our development strategy. And first approach was diversification of funding streams. That's very important because the initial analysis that we have done, the main sources, of course you can divide to different possible fluxes. First, of course, is the state funding, which according to present analysis will increase by 20% within coming 5 years. So this is obviously sufficient for survival, but not for development. It means we have to find additional streams. Next stream, of course, is international programs, which give comparable contribution to what we have from the state. Because state funding is very low in Armenia, you can't imagine. But this is also, it's not just the last point to discuss. We found that much more opportunities give us linkage with industry. In particular, for our institute, the appropriate model is developing technology and licensing it to other organizations. Not to build our own production, though we have a huge territory and we can manage to do everything. And also there is no contradiction with Armenian legislation. So at the moment, this opportunity is not fully exploited. So this is our future. Okay, but of course, the fundamental science should be preserved, and not researcher himself have to push his product to the market. That is why we created our technology transfer facility.
Yeah, if I can just complement, about your question. I mean, and if you take the EU program like Horizon 2020, the whole program is totally open to international cooperation worldwide. But it's a competitive program. I mean, we're able to fund maybe one, proposal out of 6 to 8 we receive. So it's a competitive process. Projects are selected based on the technical merit, on impact, not on the nationality of the people who apply. To give you an example, so we published the first calls last December, And just, about statistics on the calls that were closed, Ukraine, for instance, was number 2 worldwide in terms of application, just behind the US, if we look at international participation. So it shows that once you are well connected, and IPERA project is a good example. There are others, tomorrow there will be a presentation of this twinning. The most important is to enter the system, to be able to be networked with the right partners, to be in. Once you're in, then the loop, starts to function, and that's what happens with Aram Institute. So, but there's no restriction in terms of funding to international partners.
So there was a comment from Professor Kavanch.
I think the situation is very common in the east of Europe, and the main problem is sustainability. The projects from Europe, you can win, you can also not win. Nobody knows. The basic financing from state is close to zero. That means you can't get the money from the state. Therefore, Latvians have such a saying, if there is nothing to do, you do yourselves. Yeah? That means if nobody is offering the funding, you have to earn it. That means we have to offer attractive science, competitive science, pro-innovative science. If you are looking for targeted science, fundamental science, and say to the players worldwide, not in the country because these are small, to worldwide world players in the area, then you can expect that somebody will hear it. And if you will demonstrate that you can offer the patents, patent-protected solutions for something, as we started to sell them ideas. Only the ideas, because no money to develop the product. Then we went a step higher. We offered the technologies for some products. Now we are developing from zero to the end of starting with idea, with the companies coming saying, we have found a new receptor. We would like to block it. Okay, why not? We will do it. It will cost so much. So then we have, for some years, continuously the base for financing our science. Because as part of this, we offer to our fundamental research, and part we use for giving the customer the right answer to the questions they want to hear. That means in our cases, in Eastern countries, we will never, in near future, have enough funding from state, from public, and during these exercises to perform science for industry worldwide, you get the contracts with the leading scientists working the field, and then networking, and then application for next programs, this, for example, I told about the projects Nabarsi. What does it mean, Nabarsi? That means new types of antibiotics. We are the single organization synthesizing the right compounds for.
So,
that's it.
thank you.